Because MAGA is the first major admission of the failure of globalization. Because he was the only one to say there is no globalism hereafter. It is America first. Once you call a nation first, the first thing you reject is globalization and international cooperation. That is the first thing. Second thing is MAGA implies that America, which was great, has ceased to be great. It has to be made great again. He is the first person to admit the decline of America. That is what has made Americans support him in such large measure in 2024. Apart from the fact that there are other problems associated with America which is not discussed very deeply in the public discourse, but which we must know. The media in India, the intellectuals in India, the academics in India must know this. In 1960, of the American population, 87.5% were non-Hispanic white population. About 11% was black and the balance 1 or 2% were others. It was at that time Kennedy declared that we will build a global, we will invite the whole world to build America, and they went on to, at that time the civil rights movement was there. Till then they allowed only white immigrants. So when the civil rights movement came, multiracial immigration came into America. You know what is the position of America today? Today 58% is only the white Hispanic, non-Hispanic whites. America is ceasing to be a white nation. America called itself a WASP nation, white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant nation. This was the identity of India given by Samuel Huntington in 1998 when he was thrashed. But there is a racial element in America today. All of you are seeing it. And that racial element is powering the Republican Party. And this whole idea of fight against immigration and the idea of tariff are only externalities. So there is a deeper racial drive. And where it will land America, God alone knows, but I will give you only 2 indications of what is happening. Pew Research in America, it's one of the most premier research institutions. It came out in the paper in 2020 that in America there is a bipartisan politics is the only point of commonality in America. There is no other commonality in this country. In 2015, the Time magazine wrote about the commonality in generally the Christian nations. There are 30,000 canonized saints in Italy. Every locality has one. In America, till today, there are only 3 canonized saints. There is no sacred place. There is no sacred mountain. There is no sacred river. America is a real estate. There is no common point of Americans except the American Constitution, courts, and what they call as the American way of life. With the result, now 60% of the Republicans won't marry into Democrats' houses. 65% of the Democrats won't marry into Republican houses. There is a vertical division in the society. And the division is in the family. Father and son are not talking. Daughter and mother are not talking. And it has seared the society so much. In 2022 September, you can Google and read, 6 defense secretaries and 5 American chiefs of staff wrote a letter to Pentagon. If a Trump or Trump-like figure contests the 2024 election and loses, there will be civil war in America, and the army will not maintain neutrality. And the civil war will not be at the border. It will be based on color. It will be based on religion. It will be based on region. This is the state of America. Because it doesn't have one common base. It is a top-down nation. Then I immediately I was there for 3 days in Kumbh Mela. 65 crore people are assembled. Who invited them? What brought them together? It's some consciousness. It is a bottom upwards nation. They are top-down nations. Arun Shourie has written it beautifully in his secular agenda. How the European nations were formed. They were formed by marriages. They were formed by concubinages. They were formed by conquests. When France was formed, less than 3% of the people knew the French language. When Italy was formed, less than 7% of the people knew Italian language. It is the powerful people who brought the people together, shaped them into nation, and turned them into what it is. Only in this 18th and 19th centuries the idea of nation state developed in the West. So these are basically unstable societies, including in America. Everybody thinks America is a very stable country, but I want all of you to very critically study what is happening in America, which will show that America is moving towards a crisis, and it is not only moving towards a crisis, it will land the whole world in crisis, because it has integrated the whole world to such an extent that whether it is in terms of dollars or in terms of, 16% of America today consists of immigrants. And those 16% immigrants, if you calculate, nearly 30 crore people are linked to America. And it is investment, it is trade, industries, employment. Everything is linked through dollar. And that society and that state is in a critical condition.